Well, it was the royal revelation that the world apparently was waiting for, Harry and Meghan's side of the story, from the moment that they met through to their decision to leave the monarchy. To pointing the finger at the paparazzi and racism, it's all there for the world to see in their new docuseries.
Now, in it, Harry admitted some decisions over the years forced him to admit his own mistakes and evolve. Let's have a listen.
Many are questioning the sensitivity of a 20-year-old prince who chooses to party in a Nazi uniform.
It was one of the biggest mistakes of my life. I felt so ashamed afterwards. All I wanted to do was make it right.
Well, let's bring in our Masters of Spin, Dee Madigan and Matthew Bywater. Morning, guys. Dee, what was your reading of, I guess, the discussion of his mea culpa there and the documentary more broadly?
Just makes me want to be a republic, even more than ever. Here's the thing, like, there's obviously spin in it. They're trying to make her seem like Diana, and that's a good... But the British media, the way they like to have enemies, good guys and bad guys, is just bizarre. And the way they're doing all this gotcha thing, she said this and there was this photo that proved this, and memories are really fallible. I'm sure she's not perfect. I'm sure she's not the devil either. The truth is probably somewhere, between it. But this demonising of people, I can't imagine what that would do to your mental health every day with that paparazzi there. So I actually feel quite sorry for her. And her whole life she's been a fairly decent advocate for women. I'm sure she's not perfect, but the British royal family is deeply weird, and I wouldn't want to join it.
There's something in it, Mon, isn't there, about our desire to love to hate?
Yeah. Well, it's all about making ourselves feel better, but about we did our own...
But they did have a good word for it, don't they? Schadenfreude?
Schadenfreude?
Yeah. It's almost like it's like watching a car crash. We get pleasure out of watching someone else go down.
But they do it deliberately, and they did it with Fergie and Diana. Remember with Fergie, she's a breath of fresh air, and then she's the devil. And it's almost
like they run out of nice things to say, so they've got to say terrible things. And just ask you both then, a question without notice. If you are in charge of spin for Meghan and Harry now, what do they do other than shut up?
Stay positive. I'd actually drop all the stuff about racism. I'd drop all the stuff about the royal family, the firm, all that sort of stuff. Be your own people, because the moment you do that, you're tying yourself back into the firm. If you want to be individual, if you want to be your own entity, create your own legacy. Just focus on what you want to do, be positive, and let time be your friend. Yeah. I mean, they're still very young. They're still very, very young. They can forge a great identity for themselves as a couple going forward. Just don't be negative. Don't keep drawing back to the past.
Yeah, but I get why they want to sort of, when the papers keep sort of dragging them there to say their story. But you're right. Just choose the things that they've been passionate about their whole lives and just keep doing it.
Because they've said it now, right?
Yes.
They've said it. The damage has been done. They've spoken their truth, if you like.
God, I hate that word, authentic.
Me too,
oh my God,
right? So they've spoken their authentic truth, is even worse. So now, just keep it positive. That is all in the past, and every time that you get asked about it, move on from it.
Yeah. You don't have to answer. As Tay said, just because someone asks you a question doesn't mean you have to answer.
Yeah, and shake it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good old Tay solving the issues of the world.
Yep.
I want to ask you about Dan Murphy's and Woolworths as well. They've released new Christmas campaigns with the theme of nostalgia and the importance of making special memories. Dee, given how tough the last few Christmases have been because of the pandemic, what do you think of these ads? Have they hit the mark?
No, I love the idea of nostalgia, and I particularly the idea with Woolies of using a mango to symbolise Australian Christmas I really like, and both of them leave me a little bit cold. I think Aldi and Coles have done really good Christmas ads. I think Woolies and Dan Murphy's are both a bit meh.
Doesn't it, if we're going to be nostalgic, you also have to be a bit funny in there, don't you?
Yeah, so I can see what Woolworths are trying to do with the mango. They're trying to say two things. One is we're backing Australian farmers. They're trying to get that patriotism sort of thing going. But also, too, in the supermarket category, they're pretty much generics. If you saw Weet-Bix at Coles or Woolworths or wherever, it's the same. Their big take has to be, we are the fresh food people. Come to us because we are fresh. And that's why they're trying to push that fruit angle a little bit.
Except the way they've executed the ad is so hokey. They've got just all these random stuff in there, and then putting the mangoes on the tree.
It's quite transparent, isn't it? Aldi have been really clever with some of the ads, and I think from a marketing perspective, it's really helped build the brand.
The term we use with that is the brief is showing, when it's kind of so obvious that what they're doing that you actually just don't engage with it.
If you're doing nostalgia and a mango, don't you just get a baby in a nappy, put them in an empty inflatable pool with a mango and have it completely covered. We'll grow up doing that.
I mean, isn't it so obvious? Just put a baby in an inflatable pool with a goddamn mango. For goodness sake.
No one in the creative department thought about that.
Mine would be good in the creative space, don't you
Can
think?
you tell your friends that I have all the ideas, right? At Woolworths, if you're listening.
I'd like you to make a Christmas ad.
Hashtag, it's just going to look like that. Pretty simple, okay? Watch this space next year. Thank you both.
Thanks, guys.